more questions about Shadow Cipher, and we'll move on to Dactyl Hill
Yeah,
Squad.
for sure.
But I did want to ask, how much planning did you do into the series up front? When you finished book one, did you have a clear plan for book two, book three, plus two novellas, or?
No, I didn't. Well, first of all, I wanted it to be a series when I first wrote it, but it was my first book, and Scholastic is kind of tough on this. They just didn't want it as a series right off the bat. So they bought it as a single book, and I think it was kind of like a cautious, we'll see how it does type of thing. And I was like, okay, fine. So it's one book. In the back of my mind when I was writing it, I was very conscious that it may or may not become a series, and that means that it does. I think that does affect how you end a book. I don't like major. I don't like big like cliffhangers, but I also don't like extremely tidy endings either. So I think everything I write could kind of work towards a series potentially, because that's just how I like endings, is in that there's certain openings for more or not. That just works for me. So with Shadow Shaper, it's similar. I think that ending allows for more possibility. It's really a beginning in a lot of ways, but it's a satisfying conclusion unto itself, and that's kind of the sweet spot. So, but once it was clear that they were buying two more books and then two novellas, then it was like, okay, now we need a more of a trajectory. I'm not an outliner or a pre-planner in any way, but I do have a sense of like large arcs of where things are going sometimes. So, but it's a very broad stroke type sense, so I really had no idea what book two was going to entail, and certainly not book three. I did know that the thread that I wanted to pull was in the characters of the Sorrows. And the Sorrows are kind of the ones pulling the strings behind everything. So the primary bad guy is Dr. Wick, but what we find out over the course of the book, spoiler, that the Sorrows are really the ones controlling him and with all the power. And so that left me an opening to kind of develop some more in terms of the antagonism. And really, I think the best thing about writing more books in a series is that you get to expand on the world, because I love world building. That's like my favorite thing. So, you just get to build and build and build and go outward. Books should always be expansive as we go outward, I think. Like as the stakes obviously get higher with each book, also we learn more about the world and the history and all that other cool stuff. And you don't have time to put that into book one usually. Usually you have so many ideas about the world, and you end up having to chop all of them out. And now it's like, here's an opportunity to just have more and develop it further. And that's how I looked at it. It's an exciting opportunity, and it paid off. Because again, like, it let me get into all this folklore stuff by book three that I never would have gotten to if it hadn't been there, because it just didn't fit into the series until now. And now it's like, it fits in perfectly because it's the third book is really this combination of so much stuff. So it makes perfect sense to bring in the historical aspects and see how they tie into the present day stuff.
Sounds to me like maybe after book three is another colossal success for you, eventually down the road, once you finished a couple of the things, you might could come back. We'll see.
We shall see.
I'm hoping, yes.